This conference will now be recorded.
So first of all, let me give you about a glimpse of OData again. OData is a open data protocol which is mainly used to connect to the internet applications. So whenever you created the OData services, SAP will generate a HTTPS protocol. So HTTP or HTTPS hyperlink it will be generated, and the same hyperlink you can able to use that in with your internet services. So see here, so consumers of the OData services, SAP and non-SAP world. So this is the internet and SAP gateway and your database. So this is from the SAP side. So here it will be generating the OData URL, which will be a HTTP or HTTPS URL. And from the internet, you can able to get those details from your database. So this is what we have seen, and we have seen about the in this OData, we will be having two types of things. One is hub development, and one is hub, and one is inbuilt. So hub is nothing but where you will be having a gateway as a separate system, whereas the inbuilt is the OData will be lying inside in your SAP system. I already shown you how to see your OData services, whether it is available or not. If I log on to this, and if I go to the system, and if I go to the status, and I already shown you this about this thing. So if I go to the product version, so here you will be having gateway foundation. So GW stands for gateway, FND stands for your foundation. So SAP gateway foundation, this software has to be installed in your SAP system. So then only you can able to use your OData services. Unless you can't able to use your OData services. Okay. So what is the transaction code for OData service? Can someone can tell me? What is
ACJW.
SACW is a transaction code where you will be going and creating the OData project. In this OData project, this is a project. So we have to click on this project. When you click on this project, when you create a project, it will be creating four subnodes. One is your data model, one is your service implementation, one is your runtime artifacts, and one is your service maintenance. So this data model will tell us about your entity types, the associations and association sets, and entity sets. So coming to this entity types. So entity types are nothing but your structures. So simply what we write in your ABAP code, so it will be creating a types declaration, right? We'll be declaring the structure. So that is called as your entity type. Whereas entity set is an internal table. Whereas entity set is an internal table, the association is the relationship between the entity sets. Here you will be having only one entity. If you have multiple entities, and if you want to maintain the relationship between multiple entities, then you will be creating your associations. So whenever you are creating the association, you have to provide your cardinality. Cardinality is nothing but the relationship between the associations. If I go here, just give me 1 second. Let's see here, association and navigation in OData services. Association Association specifies the cardinality between your entity types. As I told you, what is the relationship between your entity types will be told by your association. So whenever you're providing your association, so now I have told you how to create this association. So you have to provide your header to items and PO header and PO item. So you need to provide your cardinality. So here you will be having so many cardinality between these association. The cardinalities which we are having are 1 is to 1, 1 is to n is to 1, and n is to n. So these are the different cardinalities which you will be having inside your OData services. Now, this 1 is to 1 is nothing but for this entity type, the principal entity and dependent entity. You will be having your principal entity and you will be having your dependent entity. For this principal entity and for this dependent entity, you need to maintain 1 is to 1. That means for every one record in your principal entity, you will be having a one record in your dependent entity for every one record. So this we have already seen in when we are creating the association CDS views. The cardinality relationships we have seen in the association CDS view with associations. When I was telling with CDS view with associations, I already told you about these things. Now this 1 is to n is nothing but for one header you can have multiple items. So like your sale order header can have multiple sale order items, right? Or PO header can have multiple PO items, right? Like this, you will be having a different things. So this cardinality you have to maintain between these two things. The cardinality you have to maintain between these two things, the header and your item. So once you created with your cardinality, you need to provide your condition. Like these cardinalities are nothing but your joins. So what is the condition between your the normal, I mean the principal entity and your dependent entity? So like this. So in this case, if I want to tell you in a layman terms, I have a table A and I have a table B. So this is one my internal table and this is another internal table, or I can take this as database table. If I want to write the join condition, so you need to provide the join. If I want to write the join, you need to provide your join condition, right? You have to provide your join condition between these two tables so that SAP can understand how to make the join relationship. Now, in the same way, for this, you need to provide your relationship on which table, what is your field, and what table and what is your field. So however you are writing your join conditions in your select query, here you will be doing in the graphical window. In your graphical window, you will be trying to do that. SAP will do at the back end the join condition relationships and everything. Okay. Now, once you have created this join conditions, so then you need to provide the association set. So that means for this association is nothing but relationship between one structure to another structure, whereas here it will relate with one internal table with another internal table. The entity sets it will be just doing with the entity sets it will be doing with this. And once you click on finish, so here you will be seeing this the navigation properties. Till now you haven't seen any navigation property, but now onwards you will be going to see your navigation property. Let's go ahead and do that. So now if I go to SE24, sorry, SEGW, SEGW. Now when I click on edit this OData project, select this and click on edit, it will be in the edited mode. Now here I'll just go ahead and add one more entity, import DDIC structure. So now I'll be taking this as PO item, entity type, and ABAP structure has VBAP, and click on next. Sorry, not VBAP, it's EKPO. Sorry, it's EKPO. Now let me go ahead and import the DDIC structure. I'll be taking this as PO item and EKPO, and then click on next. What are the fields you want? You can just select those fields. Click on next. So you need to provide what is your key field. So I just say click on finish. Now see here. So potential loss of data model binding. So binding is not available. So binding is nothing but your associations is not available as you have multiple sets. You have not created the association. So right click over here and click on create. Create your association. So now you need to maintain your association. I'll be taking this as PO head to PO item. So what is your entity? If you click on F4 also, you can find out your corresponding entity, or else you can directly write down here PO header and what is your item entity. So PO item. Now here you need to maintain your cardinality. So 0 is to 1. So for 0 record, you can have 1 record, and 1 is to 1. So 1 is nothing but 1 is to 1. 0 is to n, 1 is to n. So if I go here 1, and I'll be taking this as 1 is to n. Okay. So now you just need to click on next. Once you click on next, you need to provide the cardinality relationship between your header and your item. So here my field, I'll be just clicking on F4 and you need to provide your field name. That's it. Now click on next. So select this and click on next. So it will be just creating your association set. Click on finish. Now you can find out here your association and a association set. Now if you go here to the PO header, you will be having your navigation properties. That means for which, where this structure has been associated. So this structure has been associated to this PO item. This structure has been associated with this PO item. So this is what the navigation will tell us. From which structure to which structure it has been navigated will be told by your navigation properties. Once you have done this, you need to again regenerate. So every time whenever you are doing any small changes to your existing OData services, you need to regenerate this. Need to regenerate this OData service. So that is what I have done over here. So the same thing about this navigation properties and the relationship. So how the associations will be and referential constraints. So I have given you in detail about that. And once you have generated, you need to go ahead and see here, you can find out the navigation and relationship from here. So, but this gateway client is not working for us. So I can't able to help you with that, guys. So now see here, what is the association and what is your association set? If you see here dollar metadata, you will be getting those details over here. You'll be getting these details over here. Now, once I click, once I pass this order details, you will be getting the order, the order, and you'll be getting your item details, the dependence item details, whatever the item details you will be having, you will be getting over here. And what is your navigation property you have to provide? So what is your navigation property you have to provide? Once you provide this navigation properties, only those details will be come up over here. Now, if I select this only one thing, you will be getting only one details. So see here, I have already given this. If you say expand, expand means it will just expanded each and every record, each and every record. So this is how you will be using your associations over here. You'll be using your association over here. So this way you can go ahead and try to get this. So where you have to write down your logic is what I am going to show you. Get entity, ABAP set. So here I already told you where to write your logic. So see here, get entity set. As you are getting multiple values, you need to click on get entity set. Get entity set. So whatever the logic I want to have, I have already written this logic over here. So the same thing I have already taken this. Now, so these are the things which we have to know. So how your metadata and everything. So this is all about your OData services. Now we will be going to see the post generation. So till now we have seen about your get. So how to do with your post. So the post is nothing but you need to keep you need to you need to keep your what I mean to say, you need to post some data into your SAP. So then you have to use your post operation. See here, method not allowed. So when I go ahead and click on post, the post operation method not allowed. So you need to go ahead and write down a logic in your create entity. So see here, a create entity. So which is one single record. If you have, then you can go ahead and use your create entity. If I want to upload one single record, then I'm going to use your create entity. So now when I click on execute, see here, create entity, data provider class. So I'm just getting the data from the provider. So here, whatever the provider, so we are going to get the data from that input, and once it is done, so then it will go ahead and update. See here, status created or 201. If you can see the OData status as 201, that is called as the created. So now the put operation is nothing but your update or modify the existing one, execute the get operator. With this option, use as a request and then execute your put operator. First, you need to do the get operator and then you need to do your put operator. So I'm just getting this and then I'm going to put this. So see here, we have not implemented your update entity. So I'm going to use your update entity. So update entity is mainly used for put operator. So this is your interview question. So like this, if you have merge, pass the URI, update the MENGE value as above. So see here, we are just updating the value from 7 to 14. And now see here, 204, it has successfully created. So you need to know about these 20 statuses. So if it is from 200 series, that is all available for your post operation, post, put, patch, everything. Post, put, patch, merge, and delete will always use your 200 series. 201 is for created, 202 is for update. Like this, you will be having different other things. Delete operator. So here we didn't update the delete entity. So you need to go ahead and uh, write the code in your delete entity. Once you have written the code in your delete entity, so now the record will be gets created. So see here, it will be the same thing 204. Now the record has been deleted. So this is how you need to work with your operators, the methods which you have. Now how to debug or how to trace or how to clean up or how and F4 help in your OData services. Debugging of an OData service, if I want to debug, so you have to use this command by passing SAP DS underscore debug equal to true parameter in the URL is most convenient way while debugging your services. This is one way of doing your services. The other way is put an external breakpoint under the username. I have already told you in the debugging. So you can keep your external breakpoint in your username. While you keeping your external debugging, also it will open, or you can pass this URL, it will open your debugging. It will open your debugging. So what is the response time and everything? You can get it over here. You can get it over here, everything. So body, request, response, runtime, what are the runtime? So now how can you do your traces? So if it is running too much long time, so how you are going to do your traces? For this, you have to use a transaction code called as IWFND underscore your traces. So you have to provide whether you want to provide your performance trace or your payload trace. So you just go ahead and activate this. You can get your performance traces as well as your payload traces based upon your username. Based upon your username, you can get your traces. So you can find out how much time it has taken and everything. How much time it has taken and everything. So based upon that, you can go ahead and check this. What is the issue and everything. Now, if I want to clean up the cache, so like your browser, you will be cleaning up your cache things, right? So if I want to clean up your OData cache things, you have to use this transaction code IWFND cache cleanup. So you just need to provide the model identifier or the service and then click on clean up. So it will just go ahead and clean the everything. Now if I want to create a search help, so how to create this search help is what I have told you. So you just need to provide this and import your search help name. It will just go ahead and create your search help. Now, how can you expose the CDS view as your OData services? If I go to my remote desktop, let me click on my HANA Studio. Now, see here. Now, this is how your CDS view will require. So once you created the CDS view, if I want to expose this CDS view as a OData services, you need to write an annotation called as at the rate OData dot publish equal to true. So this is the annotation you have to write down. Once you have written this and once you click on this, so now this, it will go ahead and create your OData services. It will just go ahead and create your OData service. So now see here, you will be finding out this. So view has generated object. Service is not active. We have not activated the service yet, and it has generated your object. Now, once you have done this, so copy this. You need to register your service again. So now go back again to SAP. So log in over here and so I'm going to, what is the transaction code? /IWFND/MAINT underscore service. So I'm going to use this, or else SE09, so SE93. I'll just say /IWFND/MAINT maintain service. Now just click on execute. You just need to go ahead and maintain your service. Add service. So now the system alias name local, and you need to provide this. So see here, you will be getting your OData services. So select this and click on add selected services. You just need to provide your package. So as of now, I'm creating this as local only. So now click on your continue. Click on continue. Service has been created and metadata has been loaded. Now if I copy this, now go back and just click on search and copy over here. You can find out your service. See here, OData. Now my ICF notes, everything has been configured. Now if I go ahead and click on gateway client, it will open your gateway. Now let's take your URI options, and now I'll be taking this as metadata. So now let me take this as HTTPS URL and click on execute. See, there is no handshaking mechanism. It is failuring with the handshaking mechanism, but usually it has to go ahead and get the data. So this, when you are facing this type of an issue, you just need to take the screenshot and send it to SAP Basis. Basis will do the corresponding changes and you can able to use from there onwards. You can able to use from there onwards. Okay, so this is what your OData, exposing of your OData services. So this was, I was telling you the same thing. How can you expose this? How can you expose this? So by writing the OData.publish equal to true. Annotation to expose the CDS view as your OData services. Annotation. So see, I have already told you the association, how to use your associations and everything. So once you have exposed this, once you get the data, you can able to receive the data. You can able to receive the data. But the limitation over here is you can only use your get operations. You can't able to use your the other CRUD operations. Only the get operations you can able to use it. Other than that, you can't able to use any other things. Okay, so how to add multiple entities in one OData services. So this I have already provided you with the example. You can go ahead and do this. You can go ahead and read this material, and this is one of your helpful material. So I have already created those things. How can you do this, and how to delete the OData service. So if there is an existing OData service, how can you delete this? So blindly don't go ahead and delete your project. So this is also one of your interview question. I have faced around 2 to 3 times. How to delete this? First of all, you need to delete the OData service first. You need to delete your OData services first, and before that you need to delete your ICF node first. So I'm going to delete this ICF node. You need to select this service, and here in your ICF node you need to click on your delete your service and delete your ICF node. Once you delete your ICF node, and then you need to remove your aliases. So that means if I go here, let me go ahead and show you that. Let me go ahead and show you that. If I want to delete this OData services, first of all, you need to remove your system alias. So you just remove the system alias, and then you need to delete this service. So see here, it will be changes to service is not initial. You just need to click on your delete. So now, once you delete this, select this, and sorry, where is so now remove your alias, and then remove your testing ICF node, delete this, delete your ICF node, and once you deleted this, and then click on your delete service. So now the service will be gets deleted. The service will be gets deleted. Once you delete your service, then go to your OData project and delete that OData project. Delete that OData project. So how to delete this? I have already provided you this. See here, remove your system aliases. And once you have done this, so delete your ICF node, it will be not shown. Finally, delete your service. So it is successfully deleted. So this is how you will be deleting your OData services and everything. So clear with this? So that's all about your OData services. In tomorrow's class, we are going to start it with your custom virtual data models. We are going to start it using of your virtual data elements. How to use this one? Virtual data elements is what I am going to teach you in your tomorrow's session. And once that is completed, then we are going to see virtual data models and how to create a custom analytical app query for that virtual data model. I'm just going to teach you that. So by this, we will be completing the entire CDS views, and then we are going to start it with your ADBC and ABAP database ADBC ABAP database connectivity, and then the last concept is nothing but your AMDP, ABAP managed database procedures. So by this we will be completing your entire SAP ABAP on HANA course. Most probably by this Friday you will be completing your SAP ABAP course. Okay. Yeah, that's it, guys. We'll meet you tomorrow again. Before I signing off, any other questions you have?
సార్ అది ఓడేటా వీడియోస్ ఒక 2 డేస్ ఎక్స్టెండ్ చేయాలి సార్. అది 8, 9కి లింక్ ఎక్స్పైర్ అయింది.
ఓడేటా లింక్ మీకు వేరే లింక్ ఇచ్చాను కదా.
అది వీడియోస్ అదే సార్, నేను వేరే ఓపెన్ చేశాను, ఎక్స్పైర్ అయిందని చూపిస్తుంది సార్.
వీడియోస్ ఈ రోజే నేను పెట్టింది. సో ఓడేటా కాదు, నేను అడోబే ఫార్మ్స్ ఇచ్చింది మీకు.
ఓకే. ఓకే. రైట్. అదే ఇవ్వండి.
ఓకే. సో నాకు ఒకసారి మీ ఎవరికైతే కావాలో వాళ్ళు స్పెసిఫిక్ ఈమెయిల్ ఐడీస్ నాకు టైప్ చేస్తే నేను వాళ్ళ వరకు ఇస్తాను డబ్బే ఫార్మ్స్కి. ఓకేనా?
ఓకే సార్. ఓకే.
Okay, guys. So that's it. We'll meet you tomorrow again and we'll continue the session. Thank you. Thank you all.